Welcome back to What's the Tea, Amy. I'm your host, and I'm your tea lady, Amy Jackson Westwick. And today's episode is very special. I'm sharing a cuppa with international superstar Leigh-Anne, and this year marks a powerful new chapter for her. Leigh-Anne is entering one of the biggest solo years of her career. New music, a clear vision, and a sound that feels deeply personal, intentional, and unapologetically her. So we talk about what it really means to step out on your own after being part of something global, about trusting your instincts, about taking back that creative control, and about allowing yourself to grow without needing permission or validation from anyone. This is Leigh-Anne in her expansion era, grounded, confident, and fully in her power, and I'm here for it. So if you've ever felt yourself outgrowing an old version of your life, this conversation will deeply resonate. Let's pour the tea with Leigh-Anne. Leigh-Anne is in the cafe.
Woohoo!
Yes!
Hello!
All right, it might be what's the tea, but the tea is right here. Leigh, you are the tea.
Aww.
You have been non-stop.
Yeah.
You've been relentless with work. And I really love that we're having this conversation at the start of a new year because it feels like you're in this momentum chapter of life.
100%.
Intentional, grounded, full of confidence.
I love that.
Yes. We need you. You're our inspiration for 2026.
Oh, no, that feels good. I feel like as well, I've been working obviously on an album for like 2 years and just knowing that it's coming out and just it's going to be out there and all the hard work is going to pay off. Do you know what I mean?
Fruit to your labour?
Yeah.
It's really difficult. I can relate in other senses when you're doing something for a long time and you're not getting feedback or you're not seeing, the excitement of people.
Yes.
It's kind of like, what am I doing this for?
Yeah,
but you've got to be
yeah.
in it for the long haul.
100%, yeah. So it's going to be a good year.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
You've got the new album. You've got singles left, right, and center. You've got a European tour.
Yes.
It's all happening. So what are you bringing into this new year that you're leaving behind from 2025?
Do you know what? I think the one thing that I tell myself every day is to just practice gratitude and like the fact that I get to do what I love, And yes, it's been a bit rocky. Like this whole journey's been up and down. And I just think the fact that I'm still here, I'm doing what I love and I'm just having fun with it as well, doing it my way. So yeah, I think it's all about that for me and leaving any self-doubt or just anything negative to cloud that in the past. Yeah.
Because it shows you are owning it. And what I love most about your work and what you're doing now is that you're in full control. This album, it took you 2 years to write.
Yeah.
All the lyrics, all the choreography, even down to the outfits.
Yeah.
How does that feel, kind of taking that control back and owning something that you're super passionate about? And you kind of know you best, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think it just comes from being in something for so long. Like I've been in this industry for over 10 years. So I know what I'm doing, And I think at this point, if I'm not enjoying it and if it's not being led by me and it's not representing me fully, then what is the point? So I think it's definitely like the best thing for me to be independent, do it on my own and have full control.
So you're independent now as well? No labels? Out the door.
Yeah.
See you later.
Is
that
hard?
hard?
No, it is. It is really hard. It is hard. And I think, if you're with a label, like the label are essentially a bank.
Yes.
So I'm putting my own money into it as well. Like it's complete like self-investment. So it is so different. It is. But I could never go back now. Now that I'm here, it feels right.
And you've experienced both worlds in that sense. And I suppose, as you say, it's a manufactured kind of world, whereas you can now take control and say, this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah. There are some artists out there that are lucky enough to not have to compromise and just do what they want. But in my case, it wasn't that. Like I couldn't be kept in that any longer. Like I had to get out and really, fully do it my way.
Spread her wings. Yeah. Here she goes. Okay, so let's start with the album. My ego told me to.
Yes.
Love the title.
Ooh.
Tell me one of the things that your ego has told you to do, one of the craziest kind of things, but it's actually worked out for the best.
Oh gosh. Well, to be fair, everything I've just said, the fact that I've just taken the reins. She told me to be fearless and go for it. Yeah, just do me, be authentic. She told me to just do what I wanted to do. She is basically a younger version of myself. She is the one that would step into a room, not take no for an answer, know exactly what she wanted, stand up for herself. And I just feel like over the years, like that side has been suppressed. And I think that just comes from being in this industry and so many different opinions and people being able to say whatever they want to say about you. And like, it's such an intense industry to be in, just be in the public eye in general. So yeah, and I think that side has been suppressed. And for me, it's all about bringing her back to the forefront, you know, like this fire, this energy that I need to survive in this fucking crazy industry.
And world. And I think
yeah.
healthy ego is underestimated.
Yeah.
I think we're always, told, he's got so much ego, she's got so much ego.
She's too confident.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
Absolutely
Oh
not.
my gosh, it winds me up.
Own it. And I think that healthy ego is necessary.
Yeah.
And there's also something that you said there, which I can completely empathize with. I've lived it as well. Back in the day, I'd say like 14, 15, I was a real go-getter. There was nothing that could hold me back. And if I put my mind to it, I would make it happen.
Yep.
And as the years go on, that self-doubt creeps in.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's really bad. And then you kind of get to a point where you freeze and you don't do anything.
Yes.
So how did you overcome that and think, all right, I'm going to take it by the horns. It's now or never.
Yeah. So that was me as well. Like growing up, I was so determined. No one could tell me nothing about not achieving my dream. I would tell everyone I'm going to be a star. I was like deluded in the best way.
Delusion is good though.
No, it is.
Need a bit of delusion.
Literally. And I feel like I did manifest this. But yeah, I feel like I told myself every day that I was going to make it. And it didn't matter who made comments about me or any negativity. Like I grew up in quite a small town as well. And I feel like there was quite a lot of like just people putting me down and I just didn't listen. And I think that version, like that young girl, I just knew that she was in me somewhere.
Yes.
And I just thought it's just time to just bring her back out because she's always been there. And it's almost like that sort of like protection, but also that like, what's the word? Like that fire kind of getting me through any situation in life, like helping me, like I didn't even know she was there, but she was, if that makes sense.
She's always there. She's always within you. And it's also those other opinions from people, like you say, people think they know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah.
And then along the way, you kind of start to believe it. And then I think, I know what I want.
Yeah.
I know what I need to do. But it's just that wake up call.
100%.
I feel like you are owning this era.
Come on.
Let's go, girl. All right, in honor of my ego told me to.
Yeah.
We've got a little quick fire round, okay? I would love for us to get to know this version of you and your music and what the album is all about. The most savage lyric on the album.
Ooh. Okay. I think it would have to be in Revival. Fake ass humans never ever act real, never ever give a shit about how you feel. 1 minute it's a promise, then they break a deal. For real?
Yes! Woo! I love that.
Clap back there.
I think we need that in our lives. We really do. I mean, how many songs are on the album?
15, I want to say.
We'll let you off. There's a lot of words in that.
Yeah, no. My brain doesn't work anymore. I don't know if you feel the same, but like
It's one
after having
brain now,
children,
darling. It
I've
doesn't
had
work,
to
it's
start
the brain
taking
fog.
lines, man.
Do you have ADHD? I don't feel like you
No,
do. No,
I
so
don't.
I'm ADHD riddled, but lion's mane helps with that. But the brain fog, Leigh, oh my
Scary.
gosh, it's really scary. And I'll go into the kitchen. I did it last night. Sorry, going off track. ADHD. I went into the kitchen, filled up my water bottle, waited for it to fill up, turned it off, and I walked out without the water bottle.
Oh, yeah. I think that is just people in general right now, though. There's just too much.
Too much going on.
Right?
We're consumed by so many different things. It's
Literally.
so true.
Yeah.
All
Where
right,
were we
let's go.
before then? Yeah.
One word that sums this album up.
Oh, one word that sums this album up, I would say truthful.
We like that.
Yes.
There's so much going on. Lies, misinformation. Give us the truth.
Yeah, 100%.
And you're standing in your truth.
Yeah, very much that. And I think I've always wanted to be personal with my music and just everything I put out. So, yes.
I love that. We need more of that. All right. What was the first feeling, and this must have been a good feeling, you had when you finished it? It took you 2 years to complete.
Do you know what, though? When I say 2 years, that wasn't just me writing. That was also just behind the scenes.
Figuring it out.
Well, yeah, that too. But there was a lot, I think, to it. But yeah, I mean, there's no better time than the present, though, is there? So we're good. It all had to happen.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
So relief.
Oh, wait, what was the question?
Sorry. What was the first feeling you had when you finished?
Oh, the first feeling I had. Yeah, relief.
Oh,
yeah,
now breathe.
literally. Relief and proud. I'm so proud and happy. And I feel like everything that it took to get here, I think, yeah, I had to go through and I'm just happy that I've got an album that I'm fully proud of. And
you fully believe in,
100%,
right?
I'm going to look back at it in 10 years and be like, I did that.
That's important. When I look back at some like films or different projects I did, I go, oh my God, what was that about? I don't want to do that anymore. I think after your 30s, you think, okay, I want to leave some sort of legacy.
Yeah.
And I want to believe in what I'm doing.
100%. That is the most important thing of all.
It really is, right? I agree with that. All right, last one. Was there a song that surprised you most whilst making it?
Oh, I think each song has like had some type of like effect, if that makes sense. I would say Dead and Gone probably was like the turning point for me. I think the moment where I was like, you know what, I'm just going to pour my heart out into this and not thinking about numbers, not thinking about like anything like that, and just thinking about like truth and everything that I want to put out there and my story. And I really want everything to mean something. And I think, yeah, Dead and Gone was probably the song that kind of shaped the rest of the album for me. And also the fact that I wanted to really root the album in reggae as well.
We
and
love
like,
that.
Yeah, and like just sort of really embrace like my heritage more. I think that was really important. So yeah, I would say Dead and Gone was like what would you say?
The foundation.
The foundation.
The foundation.
Yes.
Foundation of the period. Then we build from there.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
It's important though, right, to have that foundation, and then you know where you're going. It's also like kind of
Yeah.
at the end of the year and you go, I don't really want to look back at what I was doing. I want to move on. But unless you kind of know where you're coming from, you don't know where you want it to head.
Oh my God, yeah, I love that.
It's so important, and it was so quick to just move on and, leave the past behind, but actually kind of recognizing where we stand with it all leads us in good stead.
Yeah, 100%.
It really does.
Yeah, so I'm grateful for that song, yeah.
I feel there's a real, like a loud confidence with this, like you're taking up space. And I think it's important, and especially when you come from a band and there's so many different people, part of the band itself, but what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Is there something that you've taken away, I suppose, from your work? I mean, how long were you in Little Mix? It was over a decade, right?
Yeah, probably like 11, 12 years.
That's a long time. And it kind of molds part of your personality as well.
Oh my gosh. I literally sometimes sit there and think, who's Leigh-Anne? No, seriously. And I think that comes from being in a group for so long. And then, I mean, maybe I was a little bit naive to think that I'd have it all figured out for my solo career. And I know exactly who I was, what I wanted to do. And yes, there was a part of that. But I mean, I also needed time to have a bit of therapy and like just understand who I was before Little Mix.
Yes.
Because yeah, as you say, like being in a group, owning a quarter of something, like that is, do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it's something that I needed to kind of leave and step away from and work out, if that makes sense, work out who I was.
You said something which I thought was really beautiful, and it's almost that you've started from the beginning twice.
Yeah.
Which is quite difficult to do. You're leaving kind of a chapter behind, closing that door, and then starting something fresh.
Yeah.
Is there something that you've learned along the way throughout that decade that you have brought into this solo career?
Oh my God,
Everything.
Everything. Like how to be an artist, how to step out on that stage and have confidence and perform. Oh my gosh, so much. Like even like down to trusting my gut, like the experience of being in it for so long and coming out and having that knowledge, you know, in songwriting, music videos, like creative, just everything, like being able to do everything, I think comes from all the experience.
Of course.
Yeah.
How are we to know if we don't do it?
Yeah.
But I suppose going back, how old were you when you auditioned for
19.
19, baby?
Yeah.
Baby Leigh-Anne. And you went into that audition room with the intention to become a solo artist, I presume. That was the mindset. Yeah. And then the group was manufactured, assembled.
Yeah.
And then you found your girls. How did that feel? Because obviously that was not the aim, I suppose.
Yeah.
But then it worked so beautifully.
Oh my gosh, it was like fate, literally. Yeah, no, it was fate. I think those moments in life are so rare.
They really are.
When you're like, wow, like this was always supposed to happen. And we just got on and we sang amazing together. And it was just like, just incredible.
I think also going in it and not knowing actually what to expect, there's actually beauty in that, because you go in with it full-heartedly and you think, all right, I'm going to take every opportunity as it comes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to grab it and I'm going to go with it. And that's what you did. I mean, 10, 11 years in the band, you traveled all over the world.
Did it all.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers do not lie. You are one of the most successful girl bands in the world.
Yeah.
But I suppose
Wild.
you were on the go continuously, right?
Never stopped. Never ever stopped. And it was just till it was lockdown actually when we stopped.
Forced to stop.
Yeah. Which is actually wild. And even in terms of like traveling, we didn't do much of that after then as well. Everything changed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Everything was socials and
The
everything
world
was
completely changed.
Yeah.
So it was a good point to kind of turn the solo career into something magical.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I suppose when you're in that, you know, the wheel of chaos and the wheel of motions and you just go, 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 were you able to step back and think, oh my God, look at what we did? Because it's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think we really did that until we left the group. I mean, I may also speak for myself. Yeah, when I left, and now like, looking back on everything, I'm like, damn. Like, I think of our first album was number 4 in America.
Wow.
Our second album was number 7 in America on
huge.
the Billboard. Like, it's massive, and when you're in it, it's like just. I don't know.
Because you're on the road the next day, somewhere else to go, something else to do. So you don't get a chance to kind of lap it all up, right?
Yeah.
And also, I suppose you're so young and your life that you're leaving behind willingly because you want to follow your dreams. But I suppose there's a few things that you probably didn't get to do during your 20s because you were just continuously work.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I would miss birthdays. I would miss
Yeah.
weddings. I would miss big, like, funerals. I was like, because you're on the road and then it takes over your life.
Yeah, I hardly saw my family. And
How did
friends,
you deal with that?
I don't know. I feel like at the time, because I was just so happy to be where I was,
Yes.
and like everyone got it and everyone understood. I was very lucky. Like I've got my same friendship circle since I was at school, like friends of 20 years, and like really good family, and just people that are understanding. So I was very lucky to have that. But yeah, I missed a lot now thinking about it. And like I remember there was one time as well, like I have a really close friend and she was going through something, and I like something really quite traumatic, and I wasn't there for her, and I never forget it. I just
Stays with you. It stays with you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's that sacrifice that you make as well.
Yeah.
It's so good you've got your girls around you because that's so vital, especially in this industry.
100%.
Oh my God, even from just like we mentioned about social media and the critics and
Just
everything that
everything.
opens and everything.
All of it. No, it's a lot. I literally went for dinner with my girls the other day, and I just forget. And it's sometimes just nice to just like, take me back to who I was before.
Yes.
And that's sometimes just nice, you know, like these girls I went to school with, and we talk about school and funny things and like reminisce, and it's just like the nicest feeling. And then I'll go home and then I'll go on my phone and I'm back in it again. But like,
Here we are, it's that vicious circle.
Yeah,
It's like,
like-
do you ever do that? Because you're a mum, right? Do you ever do this? They call it like the revenge scroll. So you'll be with the kids all day, or you'll be working all day and you're trying to balance everything.
Yeah.
And I'll get into bed at 9 o'clock. I'll get all comfy and I go, I'm having an early night. Then I'll pick the phone up. 1 a.m. and I'm like still deep
bad,
on
isn't it?
TikTok, looking at some crazy things that do not matter. But it's kind of getting that time back for yourself. How do you find that time when you're so busy? As we said, you've got the album, you've got the tour, you've got twins. How do you find that time for yourself? And do you prioritize it? No.
Do I? Yes and no. My time though, once I put the girls to bed, is I just watch series. Like that's my thing. Yeah, like I don't actually go on my phone like that anymore.
So toxic.
I say that. If I've posted something, maybe I'll stay and read the comments for a while. Like my husband will kill me for that. Like he's like, "Why are you reading the comments?" Like
exactly the same. You know what? I've gone into the whole other way of that now. I'll post something and I have like extreme like fear, anxiety with it. I'll turn it off and I'll go, "Look at you later."
But
look
it's
at
good.
that.
We should be doing that. Yeah, not like rechecking it. How many likes it got? Is it being seen? Is it being received well? Like, it's crazy.
It ruins creativity as well.
Yes.
It really does because as you say, now you're the creative director of Leigh-Anne. You are in control. You're the captain of the ship, which is absolutely fantastic. So when you have that, I suppose, do these kind of things come into your mind? Because it's so hard because it's an art form. What you do, music and your lyrics and putting that out to the world.
Yeah.
It's art.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's also a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's so tricky. How do you navigate that?
Do you know what? I feel like it's kind of like a
Yeah.
But I think now where I'm at, because lucky enough to have had that experience in Little Mix and done all the things that we did, I feel like leading with my heart,
Leading
I
with
guess.
your heart.
Yeah, and just doing what I want and being as creative as I want to be and just putting out things that are authentic to me. You know, like that's probably, it has to be the number one thing. But also we're in a day and age where people want that anyway. You know, people
sick
see
to
through
death
They are.
of fakeness and things that are manufactured in a sense.
They see through everything.
Exactly.
Perfect time to be the artist you want to be. But then at the same time, it's like, you put everything out there, you lay your heart on the line and you want everyone to love it. And then if it maybe doesn't like stream the numbers that you want it to, or whatever it is, it's like you feel a sense of failure, but actually it's not because... Like, what does success even mean?
Exactly.
You know, like
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's different to so many people.
Yeah.
I think it's knowing, like you say, you lead with your heart and you go with your gut instinct. I think that's
success.
really important. That is success because you live in your truth in that sense. I hate that term. You live in your truth. But
it's true. No, it is. It really is.
You live and you know that you've done something that you're proud of and that you put out to the world. And if you're thinking that this music is something that people would love to listen to and it's a new genre, it's a new style, then it's going to land the way it should do.
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
And you're doing it with so much realness and so much confidence. It's going to hit.
Oh, bless
It's
you.
going to hit. It really is. So being the creative director and having that handle, how is that on the other side behind the scenes? Because that's quite difficult. You're obviously in front of the camera, but you also have to know what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Team, crew, what's going on for logistics when you're traveling and on shoots. How do you handle that?
So my sister manages me.
Love that. Been speaking to her. She's great.
Yeah, no, she's amazing. To be honest, sometimes I feel like it's me and her against the world. Like it's a lot. There is so much that even because she does it basically on her own. So there's so much that she has to be across. And I think the good thing is, obviously, she's my sister. She wants me to win.
Yes.
So she will work past 6 p.m, you know, and into the night. And sometimes I feel terrible. Like we were pregnant at the same time. So she's got a 4-year-old as well. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
That is the dream.
Yeah, no, it was incredible.
I always joke, as long as I've got my sister, I'm cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
That
very
bond.
lucky for that. Yeah. But it is a lot.
Do you ever clash?
Yes. No, we do. But that's natural, you know.
Of
Family
course it
working
is.
together. We're very different. Like polar opposite. So like I am super sensitive, emotional, wear my heart on my sleeve. She's like hides most of her feelings, really hard on the exterior. Like
She's on it.
Yeah,
She gets the job done. Listen, it's
she's that.
perfect for a manager.
yeah, no, it is.
It's ideal.
Yeah.
And also somebody who adores you and loves you no matter what.
Yeah. But sometimes she'll say something in a slightly more like
Derogatory
passive aggressive
way.
way. Yeah. And I know that she's like,
Is she older
she
or younger?
cares. older.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, and she cares, but like I'm like, can you just say it a bit nicer because I'm really stressed right now.
There's a better way to say that.
Literally.
You're like me. I can relate to that. Oh my gosh. My sister, she's a school teacher, but she is so straight to the point.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
she's so brutally honest. And if she doesn't like someone or she doesn't like something, she will let them know. Like me,
Yeah.
I'll be like, and then it's actually really detrimental to ourselves because we're actually putting somebody else first,
Yeah.
And she is straight to the point. So having her on your team, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I need it.
ideal. It's
100%.
really, it's a gift.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
a gift. So you've got her working behind the scenes for you. You're in full creative control. Now, aside from your music that you're putting out, 20th of February.
Yes.
We're counting down, girl. It's going to be amazing. You are getting ready to go smash a European tour. Phew, so after the UK sellout,
Yes.
how are you feeling about this one?
I'm so excited. I've never done a solo tour in Europe before, so
How does it feel performing solo? Because obviously you had the girls.
yes.
Is there a big difference?
Yeah, 100%. I think obviously not having your sisters on stage, like it is completely different. But at the same time, because I just love performing, it just still feels like home. Do you know what I mean? Like as much as it's like, how am I going to perform a whole song to myself? Right? You know,
I saw you at that Jingle Bell Ball, babe. Killed it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I just love performing. So just any stage, to be honest. But the fact that I get to go to Europe, yeah, and see my international fans, I've always wanted to do like a world tour, you know, and just be everywhere. Brazil, South America. America is a dream. So yeah, I'm really excited I get to do Europe and hopefully many more to come. Many more
Yes.
different cities.
They're going to lap it up.
Yes.
You say you love performing on a stage. For me, that is my worst nightmare. Like I have stage fright. And if I were to perform, say, for a stage show, I would forget all of my lines. I would not know what I'm doing. Have you always had that confidence? From what age did you know, right, this is meant for me?
Yeah, so when I was younger, maybe like, I mean, I feel like I've been singing since I was 5, but maybe like
You're
9.
looking good for it, Lee. You'd never know. You'd never know.
But 9, I probably started to enter competitions and talent shows, but I was so shy, like painfully shy. Like I'd look at the floor. I always knew I wanted to sing, but it's like I couldn't find the confidence to really perform. But then, to be honest, I feel like the first time I really like came out of my shell was the X Factor audition. I just kind of let loose.
In the deep end.
Yeah.
It's now or never.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt. But yeah, it's definitely something that I've grown confidence.
I feel the same because I mean, even to this day, I still get really nervous. I still have social anxiety.
Yeah.
I still am actually like quite an introverted person.
Are you an introvert extrovert?
Yes.
Me too.
Big time.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot because we want to have these, goals and these dreams.
Yeah.
But obviously, in order to do that, especially in the industry, you kind of have to be a certain person because you have to get noticed and you have to speak up and you have to use that voice. But it's actually quite difficult sometimes.
No, it is.
I still find it difficult.
Yeah. See, you strike me as someone that can just go and like be super confident in any room and like, because you're just so friendly and have this beautiful like aura.
Leigh-Anne, it's all a facade.
Really?
Really?
Wow.
Even me and Lucy were talking about it before. And it's just, I think I've got to reframe it. Like my husband always says, I'm so nervous. I've got like real anxiety. And he's like, no. Reframe it. You're excited. And I'm like, no, I'm about to be sick and I'm about to have the most brain fog you could imagine. But actually, it's when you power through it and it's going through one by one. Once you tick it off the list,
Yes.
okay, I did that. Okay, I did that.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
to the next. And it becomes part and parcel of who you are.
100%. Yeah.
But it takes a while.
Yeah, no. And do you know what I think's good? Actually just throwing yourself in the deep end. So like I remember one year I presented the Mobos and I
Epic.
was so
Not in
sick.
Liverpool.
Where
Was it in Liverpool?
Maybe it was,
Echo Arena, Mobos. That was kind of maybe your...
I can't remember where I did it.
Yeah, your time.
No, it was
it's
London.
not.
It was London. Yeah. But I was so nervous. And I always think if I can do that, like present a whole award show, girl, you can do anything. Literally, yeah. But I do think about that a lot. I'm like, just, yeah.
If I did it once, I can do it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is about just putting yourself out there, innit?
It really is.
Going for it.
Yeah, you've got to go for it. Because it's also, it's either you stay where you are and you are in that place and you will live with the regret of not doing it. But it's just taking that risk and pushing the comfort zone.
Yeah, agreed.
But you do it in so many different ways as well. I really admire how you use your voice, not only obviously through your music, but also for the causes that you speak so highly of. I mean, because it's a big bad world out there and there are so many opinions, and especially, again, the industry that you're in, you kind of second guess whether it's the right thing to do.
Oh my gosh.
But you are a person of integrity, you can tell, even with the music you're putting out. So have you always felt that you could use your voice in that way?
I think so. And do you know what? I feel like it stems even just from being in the group. Like we always wanted to make music to inspire people. And I think because we knew we had so many people looking up to us.
Yeah.
And we wanted to, I guess, be that inspiration for people. And we did it for our music, but I felt like we weren't always encouraged to speak about social issues. And like, I remember, one time we were told not to say that we were a feminist. And just because at the time it was like, I don't know, like,
a dirty
people would look at
word
pop stars
almost.
and think, what have you got to say? Like, what do you know?
Which is crazy because
No, it is.
Where's that connection? Because you're human. You have feelings, you have emotions, you have opinions. But obviously, as well, going back to having somebody kind of govern what you're doing, they're in control of what you do and say. So now you are full force.
Oh, yeah.
Going for it. I love what you do. And I think it's really important.
This world is fucked.
It is, I know.
It's awful. And I just think if I could use my voice to make a small change, then I'm going to do it.
It's important.
Sure.
And I think when I see that on your social media specifically, it gives other people that kind of oomph and that kind of, it really does. It sends the right message out.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary. Without sounding like a stalker, I've been doing my due diligence and it was incredible. I think it came at the perfect time. Would you say that is where the shift came from, through race, pop and power?
Yeah, no, I definitely do. Because I remember when I was saying to my mum, I'm going to do a documentary on race. It was kind of like a icky thing to talk about. And like, I could only really talk about it with my family on a Sunday, or like, I couldn't really talk to a lot of people about it. And especially not really in the public eye. Like I did speak about some of my experiences in 2016, was it? And it just fell on deaf ears because no one cared.
No one was
interested.
Talking. No. Where did you voice it? Interviews, social media?
It was an interview. It was an interview, and it just wasn't.
Just completely went over everybody's heads.
And then I just remember my mum, when I was speaking about doing the documentary, like maybe like a year after, whatever. She was just like, Leigh-Anne, that's amazing, but no one cares. And she was right at that time. Nobody did, and obviously that the movement was happening, and like all of a sudden the world had woken up and everyone was talking about race, and it was this crazy moment that I just felt like I could really say something now, and it's going to get listened to.
Yes.
So
but it's so sad because it shouldn't have taken a tragedy. So how important was it for you to tell that story in your own words? Because it feels like it was coming for a long time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, it was. And I think even when I did speak about some of my experiences, like Black females from girl bands were like reaching out to me, like I literally feel the same, and I was like, oh my God, like this is wild. It hasn't been in my head this whole time.
Because is that what you thought? Am I imagining it?
Literally. And I guess that is just from not really being able to express it or talk about it, because I'm fearing people aren't going to understand. And I was just going to say, I feel like now though, we are however many years in, and I just feel like we've kind of gone back to what it was. Like no one's talking about race again. And it's like when we had that year where everyone was like, I was getting all these brand deals, and like people wanted to talk to me about it and really wanted to hear like what I had to say about it. And
so do you think that was performative?
Yes.
Yes.
Some of it was.
We had Adok Gak on and we were talking about the modelling industry. It gives me goosebumps. We were talking about the modelling industry, and we were talking about how Edward Enninful came into vogue and he changed the whole world, and how they saw fashion, and how, race was really pictured within the fashion industry. And then I even noticed last year at Fashion Week, I was like, where is the inclusivity? Where's it gone? Like, what's happened? Like, it's like 10 steps forward, 20 steps back.
Yeah.
But why do you think
I
that
just
is?
feel like people see things as trends and everyone jumps on and they post a black square and think that they're doing something. Yeah. And actually, like, even like businesses that would say that they're going to be more inclusive and be more diverse, and these conversations were being had, and now it's just like, where is that action? Because it's not happening anymore.
And action is necessary. And I think from your documentary, I think that really, it fueled a fire, which was great. The response was fantastic.
Yeah.
People were really listening. Did it feel scary for you to open up at that time? Or were you like, no, this is my voice and this needs to be heard?
I was scared, of course.
Yeah.
I think, like you said before, like you're kind of open for people to pick you apart and have opinions and whatever. So I think I was obviously I was scared. But at the same time, knew that I had to say something, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what is that mentality where you feel like you can't say something, where you're trying to raise awareness and help others, but then you have another side where you have all of this negativity when it comes to things like this?
Yeah.
It's very hard to navigate.
Yeah.
But I think you do it so well because you just do it full force and you don't think, oh, what if, that person might not like it. You do it with a full open heart, which I really, it's very inspiring.
Yeah, no, I just feel like as well, it shouldn't be controversial to call for peace.
Exactly.
You know, like,
how was that controversial?
Basic human rights.
Posting, charities and children's charities at that. How is that a controversy? It's not. Your beautiful song Lullaby is stunning. Thank you for that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You've all come together to create such a beautiful piece of music.
It's beautiful. Yeah. I honestly, like, one, I just feel honored to be even on the song, but what it means, and the lullaby obviously is mothers singing to their children, you know, like it's beautiful, and I'm just so happy that so many artists have come together to do it, you know, like it's just it needs to be done, and it's just so important. So,
and that's why using your music in the way that you do, whether it be for Lullaby or whether it be for representing your culture and your heritage with the music that you put out, the world needs more of it. All right, so going through pregnancy, it's quite difficult. And although you might have your partner involved, and we're lucky to have two great men, great dads, but having women around you, especially mothers or especially women who are pregnant at the same time, I think that's so necessary.
100%.
So how did you and Perry find that, being pregnant together and actually working and going through the motions?
It was so special.
Yeah.
And it actually brought me even closer to her. Not that I thought that could be possible, but it did. And even now, like, we have our mummy chat still, and like we update each other. And my manager was also pregnant at the same time. So it was me, Perry, our manager, Sam, my sister, Sarah. Why do I feel like there's someone else? So then we ended up having, there was 5 babies.
How incredible.
Wild.
And they can all grow up together. It's so beautiful.
It's
I think somebody going through the same kind of motions as you as well. Obviously not all pregnancy is the same.
No.
But that understanding.
Yeah, 100%.
That little person, you can go, whew, today is difficult.
Yeah.
So suppose when you're kind of navigating being a superstar, pop star, and also motherhood, bouncing off one another, how incredible.
No, it was, I remember when we told each other as well.
How did you tell one another?
I called my manager and I told her, and then she was like, Leigh, I need to add someone to this call. So she added Perry, and I was like, no way.
It's happening.
No fucking way.
How many months apart?
Months, days.
Stop.
Yeah,
no.
We all had kids within 2 weeks of each other.
That
all
was
of
meant
us.
to be. That was the universe saying, all right, girls, let's go.
Yeah.
How incredible.
I know.
And it's also, it takes the kind of fear away, because obviously having your career and being at the top of your game, and then it does creep into your mind, because at the end of the day, self-employed to an extent.
Yeah.
And you've really got to put that effort in yourself.
Yeah.
So taking that time out to become a mama, it's quite scary.
Yeah.
So when you've got somebody to do that with as well.
In the same group, 100%. Because if it had been just me, like, maybe I would have felt like, oh gosh, have I sort of stunted the group?
Yes.
Like, are we gonna, which is ridiculous to think, because I think nowadays you can be a mum, you can do everything, you know? Like,
Thanks,
we make
Rihanna.
it Right, yeah.
Thanks, Riri.
We make it look so easy, right? Even though it's the hardest thing in the world, but us as women, like we just smash it.
We make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that obviously both of us, it was like, okay, like we can now take a little break.
Yes.
And it just kind of all worked out.
A guilt-free break as well.
Yeah.
Phew, there's nothing worse than thinking, oh my God, I need to get back to work. I need to get back to work. I need to get back to work. If you can take that time out and really enjoy it. Do you think you did that? Did you take the time out that what you needed? Could have been a bit longer.
Could have been a bit longer. But to be fair, again, I probably would have been like, right, I'm ready to go back to work anyway.
Exactly.
Because I just love to work. Gosh,
which is the beauty of it. Which is the beauty. Do you think the fact that you are a mum now, do you make your choices differently when it comes to career moves?
I just feel like, I kind of say this a lot, but I feel like I was a person, I still am a person, I'm a hard worker. Like I literally put everything into what I do. But after having kids, I physically can't give 100% anymore to career and to that. Like that has to go into my children. So anything that's left will go to everyone else or whatever else it is.
I can get the drags.
No, but in like the best way. But do you know what I mean? It's
I can
so
relate.
hard to spread yourself so thin when you have children. Like, oh my gosh, they just take so much as well, right? Like you're literally putting everything into them, and mentally, like it is a lot being a mom. Like we are
really
just
is
fantastic, aren't we?
Fantastic creatures. Now it's nice having a nice partner, but at the end of the day, mum's the word. It really is. And I can relate in that sense. It really is. And only the mum's cuddles will work.
Oh, yeah.
Phew. But
yeah,
since having your twins and then obviously starting this new solo career, that is a lot. I only know now with two, but I've taken 6 years to take the second one. It must be intense.
Yeah, no, it is.
How did you find that? Did you take some time out when you had the babies?
A little bit, but then we were on tour when they were like 8 months.
With Little Mix?
And we started we started rehearsals, I think maybe 7 months in, because I remember I was still breastfeeding, and so I went back to work, like I dried up and I was so sad because I wanted to keep doing it. But yeah, we were basically straight on. And we worked so far into the pregnancy as well. We did like 3 videos pregnant.
That's intense.
Me and Perry, yeah.
That is intense. So Perry was pregnant at the same time. So she felt your pain.
Yeah. God.
How was the
special.
Pregnancy?
It was okay, actually. It was okay. But then towards the end,
It's
I was
game
like,
over.
I am done.
I do not know how
2
you did
babies.
it.
Oh my gosh.
Getting ready for a tour, knowing that mentally you had to prepare for that as well. But by like 7 or 8 months, I was like, you could see the groove in the sofa from me. No, I literally did not move, and I was a big girl.
Yes.
I was a big girl with both of them. But it's just kind of it's hard, isn't it? Because your identity is your work as well.
Yeah.
And it's a huge part of who you are, your life, and what you stand for. And it's great because the girls can see that and think, my mama is a superstar.
God. They're so amazing. They're so like confident. And what you were saying before about confidence and like just seeing them like just, oh my God, like they love singing, they love dancing. They're the first on the dance floor and they have all this beautiful confidence about them. And I'm like, just keep that forever.
Well, that's
please.
you, mama. That's you. You're doing a good job.
Bless you.
You're going to be a dance mom. I love it. Have you seen that show, by the way?
I actually haven't.
It's brilliant.
That where what's
Jennifer Ellison?
Yeah.
You're gonna be a dance mom. I feel like you are made for this.
I'll literally be the camcorder and Mean Girls. You know the mum. Like,
you're doing great, sweetie.
yeah, literally. That'll be me.
But what you mentioned about trying to balance everything, I honestly don't think it exists. I think when you are full force in motherhood and you're trying to do, as you say, the other parts in life, whether it be work, whether it be friendships, whether it be your relationship as well, you can't give 100% to each one of those. And then vice versa, when you're preparing for your tour or doing your album, of course, at home, that is going to suffer in some respects.
Yeah.
Because you just can't physically do both.
Yeah. I don't think there's any such word as the perfect balance.
There is
there
not.
just isn't.
And anybody who says differently, I mean, we need a little like hand. We need
Help me
something.
out,
Help
please.
a girl out.
Yeah.
Come on. Like we are still learning the ropes with that.
I think when you feel like one is like getting more than the other, then you just have to tip back into the other
very
and
true.
just feel it out.
It's a juggle.
Literally.
Motherhood is a juggle.
Massive.
It really is. So have your girls seen you perform?
They came to Jingle Bell Ball.
Did they love it?
They did. No, they did. Oh my gosh.
Were they singing along? Did they know your lyrics?
They do. Yeah, they know.
How fun
they
is
do.
that,
They
though?
love my music. Bless them. If anyone likes my music, it's them.
That's all you
Yeah,
need.
That's all I need.
They're the only fangirls you need. That is all you need. You get the approval from the twins.
Literally.
Perfect.
Bless them.
And a huge source of inspiration.
Oh my gosh.
So speaking of travel and speaking of motherhood and trying to do all at once,
Yeah.
you've got this European tour. It's coming up in April.
Yes.
So the last tour you did was in the UK. How did you find that performing solo up and down the country? Fans screaming your name there for you.
Yes. Best feeling ever. Like, it was just incredible. And I just remember saying, like, it's going to feel so special just knowing it. As you say, all those fans are there just for me and loving my music, singing about my lyrics. Like, just, it meant everything. Yeah, it's my happy
Putting
place.
that art to the world.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that was an EP as well that I toured, the last one. So obviously being able to tour my album and tell that story, like, I just can't wait for that.
Huge.
Yeah, can't
So
wait.
European tour. What countries are you visiting?
So I'm doing Amsterdam, Paris, and Germany.
Fabulous. Ooh, let's go, girl. How many shows on the tour?
So we've got 8 shows. So yeah, UK, Europe, and obviously with the hope that I get to go to many more places. Like, I'd love to do America, South America, everywhere. So yes,
It's going to happen.
excited.
And then you'll have hubby back and he can take care of the kids. Yes. It all works out in your favor. This is your
Yes.
time to shine.
Yeah, but I would think that as well, obviously, because they are in school now. If I eventually do a longer tour, like, what will I take them with me? Like, it's weird to think about.
No, it is. It's a minefield. I think the same with Andreas as well, because he's in school. He's my eldest. He's 6. And when it comes to acting, you audition for roles. And even when I get the audition in, I'm like, I don't even want to do that.
Yeah.
Because you see, it's 40 days in Bulgaria or 40 days in,
yes.
the other side of the world.
Yeah.
It's trying to find the time to be able to do that as a mum. So you have to have that sacrifice.
100%.
And it's kind of making it work for you. It's great because you're in control. You can kind of decide
Yeah.
as and when you want
Yeah.
to do it. So that's kind
very
of
true.
bringing it back to you.
Yeah.
So speaking of the tour, I would love to know any kind of tour rituals. Did you have any when you were in the band with Little Mix?
Ooh, tour rituals.
I read your book. Can I jump in?
Oh God, what did I say?
No, I said some
yeah?
fabulous things. I can't quote you word for word.
Yeah.
But before you go on stage, your mantras.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you still do that to this day?
I try to. Yeah,
It's so
like, you're
important.
amazing, you're beautiful, you're a star, you're everything.
Tell 'em, girl.
Literally. Yeah, but I think that is super important. Even just day to day, not just before you go on stage.
I did it this morning.
Yes.
I did it in the mirror. I was like, okay, come on. It's coming to that time of the month and you know where you're
Yeah.
all over the place
Oh my
and you're
gosh.
like, get in the zone. Come on, you got this.
100%.
I also teach it to my kids as well. Obviously
have
not my
to.
9-month-old. He's not quite, got it yet. But my 6-year-old, we do our mantras and affirmations in the car.
I love that.
I think it's just that
Yeah.
positive mental attitude,
Yeah.
right?
And because sometimes it's life, it's easy to forget that. It's easy to kind of get into a hole of not thinking you're good enough or like whatever it may be. And it's like, as soon as you let those doubts creep in, it's just
Game over.
It's not good. So I think that's super important. And to be honest, I literally had a bit of a moment with my best friend the other day, and she's very much like big on gratitude and
Positive light.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes you just need that to be injected back into you. And yeah, we
Desperately.
had a bit of a moment the other day, but yeah, it's so important. And also, that, but then also gratitude as well. So important.
Speaking of which, keeping the right people around you. So when you do go on tour, how do you choose your team? Because that is vital because you are the company
Yeah.
you keep, right?
Oh my God. I'll be honest. Like, I think if you want to be a singer, whatever you want to be, like finding your tribe is so important. And those people that get it are just as passionate as you are, And I think it's taken me a while, but I'm finally there now. Like, I've got that. And it's just made a world of difference. Like, to have people that don't necessarily like the music that you like, and they're your A&R, or they're someone that's literally working closely with you to put your album together. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely not. You need to be on the same wavelength as you. And also kind of just like your cheerleader, right? And you're all in it together. It's a team effort.
So
I think people
true.
forget that. Even life. Like, it's a team effort. We're all in it. We're all winging it. But I think finding the right people is so necessary. It's make or break.
Yeah.
It
Massively.
really is.
I've that's one thing that I've really learned.
You've got your good people around you. I think necessary in life as well, just as friendships go, or even relationships, having the right person in your life is a make or break situation. It really is.
Important.
All right, got a bit of fun going on here. All right, we're getting to the end of your tour segment, but I have a list of Mariah Carey's green room requirements.
Ooh.
All right, she's known for warm temperatures, soft lighting only, white decor only, specific drinks, Cristal,
Oh, wow.
and fresh flowers, the whole vibe. So if we walked into your dressing room,
Oh, girl.
who and what are we gonna find?
I'm so boring. No, my rider is so dead. I really need to like fix this up, and I don't know, even fresh flowers. That would be lovely. You know, like just something to spruce it up a bit.
Little candle does wonders.
Something, yeah. But at the minute, it's literally just bottles of water, Earl Grey tea, oat milk.
Gotta have your oat milk.
Yeah, that I never
that
even
is-
use. Yeah,
It's game over. If you go even to a hotel, oh my God, and I go, have you got oat milk?
Yeah.
No. Well, what am I gonna do every morning?
so annoying. Yeah,
Do you bring it with you? Do you get them to stock it?
I do, but I never actually use it, which is annoying. But I was
You're
gonna
always
say,
buzzed up, coffee not necessary.
yeah, well, yeah, literally. But there was one, I can't remember, we was on a tour run, I was doing something, and there was vodka on my rider, and Sarah kept saying, my manager, literally every day, like, why is there alcohol? You don't even put that on there. It's like someone was put alcohol on it. I'm like, who did that?
Who did that? Little sneaky
know,
shot
right?
when you're not looking. Oh my God, as long as it wasn't the makeup artist.
Can you imagine? Yeah. So yeah, boring as hell. Give me something to add. Come on.
Oh, what can we give you? A little bit of
No.
sage. Yeah, a little bit I'll give you some before you go.
Oh
A little
my
bit of
God.
sage. You can take that with you on tour.
gonna
Clear
add
the
that.
space. Nice energy, you know, ground you. Boom.
Boom.
That's all. That's actually all you need.
Literally.
Good energy, H2O, good team. Boom. So obviously you've gone from a band, 4 artists, and then you've all broke off individually.
Yeah.
You've found your own sound, and obviously the girls are also in their own lane, which I find beautiful.
Yes.
How did you find your kind of trajectory when it comes to music?
Yeah. I feel like I was really passionate about just doing music that I loved, like inspired by music that I loved listening to growing up, and the different genres that I love listening to now. Like I wanted to sort of infuse that with, I guess, the pop stamp. I'm always going to be a pop girl, so that sort of stamp. But being able to fully do that, you know, like reggae, R&B, Afro beats, whatever it may be, like being able to kind of put that into a melting pot and put my own personal stamp on it. I've always been really passionate as well about finding my sound, you know, like something that's unique to me. So, and I think, yeah, I've been maybe a solo artist for 2 years now. So I think it's definitely sort of been a journey, you know, to find that. And that is not something you come across overnight, you know. So, yeah, it's definitely something that I'm taking. Like I was just so proud that this album is that, you know. I feel like I found it, and yeah, and the fact, like you said, we are all so different as solo artists. I think that's a beautiful thing in our own different lanes. And now I get to do music that really represents me. I think is great.
And that's why Little Mix works so well, because you all so different, but come together so beautifully.
Yep.
And then after that, you've had this self-discovery within yourself, and then you found what you actually want to do and put out to the world. I think it's wonderful.
100%. Yeah, without thinking of the pressure and all the other things that come with it. Like the beautiful thing about this is it's just stuff that's authentic to me and stuff that I love.
And we recognize that. Yes. You can see it. You're owning it. She's in her power. All right, before I let you go, we have a round called Just My Cup of Tea round. It's all your cozy favorites.
Yeah.
What actually makes you tick? All right, let's do it. Think of this as a snapshot of where you are right now.
Yeah.
Who is your biggest inspiration of all time and also right now at this moment?
My children. No, they actually are.
I know, I can
They
relate to that.
inspire me to be fearless.
the kids, they give you something, right, you didn't know was in there. I know, I can
Best
relate.
thing in the world.
All right. What's your favorite feel-good song on the new album?
Ooh, Tight Up Skirt.
Ooh, I can't
Even
wait
the
to
name,
listen.
Tight Up Skirt.
Let's
just sexy.
go.
Yeah.
Sexy. It makes you feel, even before you hear it, you know you're going to get into it and you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
Just picture yourself in a tight up skirt on a beach somewhere, just living your best life. Yeah.
That's what we want. 2026 energy. Let's go.
Yes.
Who's your dream artist you'd love to collaborate with in the future?
There's actually so many. I love Doja, Doechii, just all artists that are just them and unique.
Unapologetically.
Oh my gosh, so inspiring.
All right. Is there a quote or a mantra that you live by day to day?
I am grateful for. ... Yeah, it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful to breathe. Life.
For real though, right? If you
Yeah.
can finish the day and have 3 things, it could be so simple, like having coffee at breakfast with my kids.
Literally.
And then you realize, oh gosh, okay, life isn't that bad.
Oh,
it's the
I know.
gratitude, but I mean, I'm terrible for it. I need to remind myself to have that.
We are all bad for it.
Yeah, that is a good one. I like that. All right, what's the one thing you are giving your energy to fully this year?
Fully?
Yeah, fully.
Oh, gosh.
You're putting it all out there. We were going full
fully.
force.
No. Do you know what? Just, okay, happiness. That is it. I'd probably say it every year, but that's always my goal. Just to be happy.
That's
Whatever that
life.
is. Yes.
Happiness, finding
Sorry,
it.
can I just say actually family as well, because my husband will be back. So I just want to get sick of him. Yeah. You know, like I want to like...
When are you going away again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get to that point. At this point, you're like, please come home. Of course.
Yeah. So
the family unit.
Yes.
Yeah, we love that. All right, and lastly, what is filling your cup up metaphorically?
Good people and family and just love. You know, like I just think as you get older as well, like really what matters is that.
It really is.
Yeah. So I just think, family.
It's a human connection, right?
Human connection.
It really
literally.
is.
Good people and just good energy. Yeah.
That's what we want. 2026, this is what's happening. Good energy, good people. You've brought the
100%.
best energy, Leigh-Anne. Thank you so much. You've been absolutely wonderful.
You.
Good luck for the tour. Good luck for the album. We are all rooting for you. Can't wait. Tight up
Thank you
Skirt.
so
Let's go.
much. Yes.